To start, let me provide an overview of the situation. I am currently 27 years old, and my sister is a few years younger than me. Since we were very young, my father has consistently favored her over me. Sadly, our mother passed away when we were quite young, leaving our father as our primary caregiver. Strangely, for reasons that remain unclear to me, my sister has always held a special place in his heart since our early years. Despite our father's limited financial means, he never hesitated to fulfill her wishes. Surprisingly, she funded her expensive college education using the inheritance our mother left behind. She even skipped classes for an entire semester, relying solely on my father's financial support. During this period, our family had to make do with the bare essentials. In contrast, I took on part-time work to help cover our basic needs due to our father's financial constraints. It was during this time that the university informed him of her repeated absences and eventually disclosed that she had dropped out of school. Shockingly, she had been spending money on nightlife and drinks while our family was struggling to make ends meet. When our father inquired about her education, she burst into tears, attributing her lack of commitment to stress from her studies. However, it wasn't until she secured a job and moved to another city that she cut off communication with us for several months, displaying her self-centered nature. Selfishness and a lack of consideration have consistently been defining features of my sister's personality. Her laziness has also prevented her from taking on responsibilities and showing initiative, as evidenced by her academic performance. My father reinforced this unequal treatment by showering her with the latest gadgets and gifts, while I was content with the necessities. He attempted to appease her mood swings with material possessions, but my accomplishments often went unnoticed and unappreciated. Over time, my resentment toward my sister grew, especially once I started college, as my father failed to fulfill his promise of financially supporting my education. A few months later, my sister started working, only to get pregnant and return home. Her husband's meager income eroded our father's finances to sustain her and the baby. Regrettably, I had to contribute to their upkeep, exhausting my money and forcing me to pursue scholarships. Fortunately, my dedication to academics paid off, and I was awarded a scholarship to help reduce my financial problems. Unfortunately, things continued to deteriorate. My sister's return to work did not translate into sound financial management. Her husband, however, grew ungrateful and demanding, putting more burden on her financially. Despite my worries, I frequently found myself offering assistance to assure the baby's well-being. My father pressed me to help them, which exacerbated the situation. My situation improved dramatically after I finished school and got a good job. For the first time in a long time, financial worries stopped bothering me, allowing me to live peacefully in my own apartment. I even made monthly cash contributions to my father. However, my happiness was short-lived when I found out that my sister had resigned her job due to another pregnancy. Given their current financial fragility, I found this decision unreasonable. It's been about a year since that revelation, and things have gotten worse. My sister's family was forced to migrate due to an inability to pay their rent. Evidently, she had stopped working on the premise that I would take over the task of supporting them. This expectation originates from the sense that I owe her something, despite her lack of reciprocation. In their hour of need, our father offered refuge to her family out of his unwavering favoritism. It is past time he grasped the truth about her personality. Her illogical decisions, such as leaving her job without a financial safety net, demonstrate her lack of foresight. Her expectations and challenges consistently thwart my efforts to live an autonomous life free of unwanted conflict. Contrary to popular belief, my financial stability comes with its own set of duties. To begin, I am responsible for the rest of my flat, which, due to its proximity to my workplace, incurs significant costs. Second, even if I have access to a corporate automobile, gasoline and maintenance costs cannot be ignored. Third, as a human being, I must provide for my fundamental needs such as food and other necessities, while also setting aside money for personal savings and future endeavors. Furthermore, despite our damaged relationship, I continue to financially assist my father. He is struggling to pay off his obligations, which were mostly the result of my sister's poor actions. It is clear that I do not have the financial resources to support a mature lady, her spouse, and their children. While familial connections should instill a sense of shared responsibility, my sister appears to disdain this precept. Instead, she assumes I am required to meet her requirements. It's important to emphasize that she, as my sister, should take on her due share of responsibility in this turbulent situation. She routinely changes jobs, and the most recent one was the only one that paid well. During that moment of financial stability, she distanced herself from me, treating me like a stranger. Her spouse, who avoids work and buys luxury stuff, was always shopping. His Instagram feed featured expensive cars and luxury items, all acquired with her money. Throughout this period, she failed to repay the money I had provided her during her difficult times. I made earnest efforts to recover my money. If she had shown some civility, I might have let it go, but the tension is overpowering. She has taken everything from me. I hope my father will quit enabling her. I was left to fend for myself with no help from my family. I have to care for myself without any help from my family. It is a dismal condition. My father, who was already retired, accommodated her and her husband, which added to the number of mouths to feed. Pregnancy demands medical attention and care, but my father is mostly concerned with indulging my sister. My late mother would never have allowed this. My mother was stern and made sure that we were all treated fairly. Her presence could have had a positive effect on my sister. Given their lack of alternatives, I understand my father's decision to take them in, who told her that quitting her job was a good idea. Her reason for resigning was just a wish to avoid work. Even her husband's alleged brilliant business strategy is absurd. I wonder how I would be handled in a similar position. If I were unemployed and needed a place to stay, I never expected my family to help. I have become the sole breadwinner. Work is tough, and I am in a position that does not allow for mistakes. Despite the challenges I face at work, I find peace there. When I return home, I am harassed with requests for money from either my father or sister. Because of our familial ties, I sometimes offer assistance. I cannot let a pregnant woman suffer because I despise her spouse. They have ruined my aspirations. I'm constantly dealing with domestic difficulties, which saps my energy and prevents me from enjoying my youth or connecting with friends. My days off are spent at my father's house, helping him with tasks. My father's aged body struggles, and neither my sister nor her husband can help. She ignores her postpartum obligations, seldom addressing me except to ask for money. Her husband always complains, and the children appear neglected. One child appears to be starving all the time due to poor cooking. This circumstance is a nightmare and has a negative impact on my mental health. Balancing caring for 3 people and 2 children while also working has had a negative impact on my health. Ignoring my phone leads to an assault of texts and messages, worsening the situation. This tension is taking its toll as weight loss and early graying have become apparent. I've considered running away and severing relations with my family. My father rarely helped me during financial difficulties, but he gladly helps her. We always dispute about her, and I keep investing my emotions and money in her basic necessities. My father constantly calls me concerning her financial requirements. How can he provide when he isn't working? Suspicions grow that she is draining his savings. Her manipulative behavior is obvious. She most likely exploits him. I am lost. My sister is using me. I've been declining financial assistance due to fatigue. Most of my wages go to her and my father. I can care for my father despite his lack of respect, but I cannot support her. Our disagreements have worsened since I curtailed financial aid. I urged her and her husband to look for work as I am not a banker. My father chastised me, calling me selfish. If her spouse genuinely cared, he'd find a job like everyone else. Currently, I'm unsure how to proceed. Their demands suffocate me. I want to enjoy my wages and life, but guilt keeps me down. While I sympathize with her pregnancy, she should have considered it before leaving her job. Is it wrong to consider breaking financial ties? I'm at a loss for what to do next.